There's not much like rotation potential from Axe unless you get like you could go level 2 Battle Hunger, but TPM with Battle Hunger is like kind of meh. Like, yeah, that counter game potential.
I mean, maybe his reaction if 343 jumps in up top, goes too aggressive on the Drow.
It only works if they actually
if
physically
they
dive your tower, which I don't think Ariki Nyx is going to be doing at
He's
early
not going to be
levels.
too YOLO.
Against Gus too. Potential Gus. Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah, 3 spins.
Good stuff.
As his mid lane going at the moment, Mushi 7 for 2, we 10 for 6, so quite an edge at the moment for the Wind Ranger.
Bit of better animation. Both of these players super comfortable.
Drow aura,
heroes.
Yeah, Drow aura as well, of course. It's going to help out the lanes. I guess once he gets a few levels in the Snake, Mushi will be able to catch back up. But at the same time, he's got a power shot.
He has the Immortal. Have you seen that Immortal? I think that's one of the best.
Oh, well, the Wind Ranger.
The best common one.
It does look pretty. Here we go. Here's the rotation we're talking about. Saxa turning up.
Here we go.
Here we go. You got it.
Rellini is unimpressed.
He's not skilled anything yet. Yep, he's saving the point.
And he picked up the boots. It's the TP top to buy boot strat.
It's the TP top steel Drow CS. Go on. He's still hanging around. I mean, if they get it, they could stun into cool.
With the creep wave.
Yeah. Okay, he gets off the spike Carapace. Nice 2-man stun, and he's walking it out. And with the smoke screen as well, Resolution can't get the right clicks through. So the Axe gank was unsuccessful.
He
Put some pressure on it though. As I say that, Ohio kind of walks back in. Resolution's trying for this, but this is pretty tanky Nyx and Sassy. You got to be careful, Drow.
Yeah, that's pretty deep as well.
I like Drow's build, or sorry, the Nyx's build with the Pro-Man shield and the ROP versus all this physical.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the Drow.
Pro-Man shield ROP.
Not saying Ring of Prot anymore.
Same game.
Pro-Man shield ROP. I don't know.
Been casting too much with Lumi.
Yeah. The wolves.
The wolves. Wolves and sheep.
The wolves.
That was a really good series if you guys get a chance to check it out. Wings versus Newbie.
Oh, there's some crazy games, weren't there, that final series? Yeah, got some of that.
So it looks like this. I think one of the sentries already timed out from Fnatic on the Axe block camp, so he can go back to the jungle pretty soon. But he doesn't have an Iron Talon. Do you think he's going to go Iron Talon or just go for Tranquil?
Iron Talon's so good, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it still value at this stage? Yeah, now that you've got like the points in spin, it seems like a starting item or bust kind of item.
You can't have him just like keep zoning out the Nyx though.
I was going to say, is this the way to play? Why are DC putting so much on kind of trying to control the Nyx assassin? Well, why are they kind of resorting Axe to just being the sole purpose?
Look, the overarching theme, I think, of the early game is that Drow has 16 last hits compared to the 25-ish of Terrorblade, and Ohio has 15 of his own. So they've been able to disrupt the Drow early on. I feel like that's the only reason that.
Oh, so they're just trying to recover the lane a bit for Ezra.
Yeah. I don't know that they set out to leave Saxa in this top lane. But
I guess this is the problem as well. You start to go into the jungle, Ricky's just going to follow you anyway and sap the XP. So this is always going to be an issue for Saxa.
But an underleveled Riki is much more useful than an underleveled and underfarmed Axe.
Yeah.
So
it's worth putting the Ricky to that resource.
Yeah, definitely. He's been he hasn't killed anyone, but he's been doing really well for Fnatic's offlane.
All 3 lanes for Fnatic are kind of going, not necessarily better than expected, but going really well. They've even got Shadow Demon getting some CS with just some neutral creeps, so laning stage seems really solid for Fnatic.
It's only the mid lane where there's definitely that edge for Wii, but as we said, that's kind of expected with the Drow aura, and then taking that into account, then maybe he's not as far ahead.
It's a very small, 4 or 5 CS.
But it's the denies.
The denies are
It's the denies. The leveling's going to shut down a little bit.
You're more worried about gold than XP as a Medusa anyway.
Yes, you're not looking to hit a certain peak early on. Yeah.
And Fnatic also know that DC haven't been stacking, because Venge has been in the lane the whole time, and Axe has also kind of been there, so they don't really have that to worry about, because they didn't have the best heroes to interrupt the stack farm, and now they also don't have to worry about a fast Axe blink or even a Darkseer mech if he wanted to do stacks.
Yeah, Axe is actually, at least for now, in mid lane, but I think that's just we healing up a bit.
Top lane, there could be something going down. They've managed to corner off Resolution. TJ's there with 3-4-3 as well. There's no save for the Drow and Fnatic. Themselves at first, but Wee's coming in with a rotation, gets a nice shackle onto Ohio, but again, this Nyx is so damn tanky. They'll throw out a magic missile, power shot, not going to be quite enough. Ohio actually turns around with the stun. He's going to be able to walk himself out of here. Mushi's turned up. They've cleared out the Venge. They're moving in onto Wii as well, and Fnatic, they're having an absolutely brilliant start to this game. 6 minutes and a half in, and just outplaying DC straight up in that top lane.
Yeah, they're really taking advantage of the Axe jungle, though.
This is the entire story of Fnatic throughout the qualifiers earlier. It's just that they, seem to get slightly outdrafted and they just execute better. They've stymied the bleeding in this early game. They've really found a lot of farm on their entire tri-core, and Mushi, even on a hero such as a Medusa, making a key rotation here in the early game, able to get some pretty significant kills on the board.
I think it's also a lot of credit to DJ because before making that rotation, he was in the jungle. So there was a good minute and a half where he's missing from the map. If he goes from zoning in the lane and then goes missing and instantly ganks, DC are ready for it. But it's the fact he spends so long missing from the map in that jungle that makes that gank successful.
Well, I mean, mid one's been left alone, but as we can see, obviously TC they drafted this Axe Darkseer, but because Saxa was up top of the most, I mean, yeah, the Darkseer gets a lot of farm, but you're not shutting down this Terrorblade at all. He's got 44 CS, he's top of the board. Mid one, he's been very happy with how this game's begun, and obviously with that rotation top, he got a few waves of free XP all to himself. So this is kind of the TB starts that we've seen over the last month that turn into a pretty disgusting game for the opponents.
Especially relative to the Drow on the other side of the board, who definitely needs to start getting a bit of an economic influx from towers. And if you're looking at a game 8 minutes in where you have yet to even take the off lane in your Drow lineup, it's a bit concerning.
Especially with the Nyx being this high level.
Yeah.
I think the Nyx is actually a really big problem. We expected him to have a really tough time in lane, but we also didn't expect the Riki to be up there constantly. And now he's almost level 6. He hasn't died. He's been really close, and DC have been forced to throw a lot of heroes to try and protect their Drow Ranger. But
He's in so much trouble. Yeah, Misery's there, but of course at this point nowhere near having the swap online or anything, so no save for resolution. Mushi's coming around the back with the Stone Gaze. Misery is forced to back up behind the tower, but Ohio, he's moving into position. He's got Vendetta. He's going to have a stun up in a few seconds to finish off the job, and he's trapped Misery in there. Oh, absolutely brutal. Punishes the Venge, and mid lane, Wee's trying to go for a play, but yeah, DJ, he might even look to turn this one around with the Demonic Purge into the setup. Ohio, he's got the mana for the stun. He's got it up in a second. Can he land it? No, Wee's just out of range with the wind run. But still, just struggling in all the lanes at the moment. The
CP in a battle hunger.
He might do it this time.
Probably has a
Should be able to
Sunder.
get a Sunder off.
Yeah,
But whether they can kill him after the Sunder.
Oh, that's disgusting. Terrorblade, ladies and gentlemen. He won't quite get the kill. Oh, maybe they'll be able to punish it.
Okay,
Can they save him? Save me! Oh, Moose! Wasn't quite. Not a lot that you could do anyway.
It was good from DC. They recognized that all the TPs had happened towards the top of the mid lane, so there was no help for the Terrorblade. The Shadow Demon couldn't TP, and the Nyx had just TP'd mid, so the only hero who can TP is a Medusa, who's not going to save your life there.
It's really nice. It definitely feels like it's an absorbable loss, though, for Fnatic, considering what they've gotten done.
And considering the start that TB was already having, and the fact that he'd had that lane on his own, it's a risk that you're kind of taking. There is going to be a point where they're going to come down and punish you.
Man, Mushi's been active. He's been in
he's been
up,
down,
already.
It's like, that's what Medusa. That's what Medusa does, I didn't think, but Mushi just finding his own way to play this hero.
It's like Gyrocopter-esque right now, the way he's been able to get around the map and use 2 ultimates already. And we talked about Ohio being up against a dual lane. He's going to need to be a linchpin for this lineup, and he is 3rd overall in net worth right now. So definitely a pretty huge issue here for DC. And I think Resolution just now picking up his level 6, so they're going to need to find him some space, whether it's by throwing bodies at Fnatic elsewhere to get some towers.
To get himself the hell out of here. And, he's not going to get the chance to do so. DJ with the disruption into Ohio's rotation. Moon's going to get punished. And another kill for Mushi. Now on a killing spree on this Medusa.
Oh, so they got the Terrorblade in mid, so they can't make a push off of that, but either way, just bleeding heroes for DC. Mu is definitely not a cheap kill.
He's their most farmed hero by a decent Mario. That's one of those things where every now and then you'll see a Darkseer have a really easy lane where he wins it, but then you look at the net worth and he's by far the most farmed hero in this game, and that's not a position you ever want to be in. You've got your 2 carries in mid and safe lane being out-farmed by a Darkseer. That's always a bit concerning.
At least Drow's getting some alone time, some me time.
Much needed, for sure.
I feel like Drow is less about your own...
Oh!
Okay.
I think he underestimated the power of the power shot.
Power of the immortal.
Yeah, it's pay to win. Alright, let's see if they can punish the win rage though here. We'll get the win run off in time. There is TPs coming through.
Soul Catcher.
That's Mushi. If he gets a good snake, here we go. Bouncy, 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 bounce! Oh!
With the Soul Catcher and the last bounce there, that does so much damage.
4 damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of burst. Snake bounces are real. Fnatic getting the push on.
Mushi has played very well this game.
He really has, yeah. 5.6k as well. The amount of value that he's managed to gain, where he's... I mean, when was the last time we saw him sitting static in the lane? He just hasn't.
Yeah.
I bet he was so excited for the Medusa buffs last patch.
Hey, he's been loving this era.
Just
Especially on the
spotting
step
them behind the tower right now.
Well, he's just chilling. And is he going to get the goal for this? Oh, no, yes, he is. He is indeed. Mushi takes the money. He's the carry here. Step aside, mid one.
I think that's what mid one needs to do, because like he's had a few deaths in a row. It's like that's the point where you stop going alone to farm, because that's DC's comeback if they get solo kills. But if mid one sticks with his team and pushes, Fnatic will just get further ahead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the first tower of the game for DC that they pushed bottom with Resolution's rotation, no one was able to secure the last hit for them. So just a bit of extra salt in the wounds.
How's
so to
Axe's
speak.
and DS's gold?
Yeah, Blink on Axe is probably what, coming soon? Yeah.
That's rough.
It's
What about
actually
Dark
quite a
Seer?
ways behind.
Almost as back. Okay. Yeah, they're getting there. They need.
But the mech's not scary without a Blink though, is
Yeah.
it? Like, at this stage at least.
Agreed.
You need the... perhaps you could rely on Shackle Shot to initiate.
Ohio may just have a blink of his own before the Axe does. He's sitting on 1,700 gold on the Nyx.
I mean, we're seeing obviously both the Ricky and the Nyx Assassin having a really good game, and I guess this kind of works so well against a lineup like DC's have. That, you know, they're going to want to have the economic advantage early.
Nighttime,
And
beautiful
Amu getting picked off here on the top. Can they bring him down? One more touch. They can't quite get it. The turnarounds here. Shackle onto Ohio.
Big
They'll
kill.
punish the Nyx Assassin. Will they be able to catch out Mushi as well? He's on his way out. It looks like they don't really have too much of a gap closing potential.
That was a really
here.
nice gank attempt though. Everything they did right there. They timed the Impale when he goes to the range creep. Hit him with the Carapace afterwards from the Iron Shell, but just not quite enough damage.
It's a really unfortunate timing for Ohio to go down, and he's worth a lot, but he'll still be pretty close to the Blink Dagger, and then he can just jump in with the Carapace on top of the Iron Shell thereafter. So
Ricky getting found out there as well as he wanders into a sentry placed down by DC. So finding the picks that they need to move. A little bit of trouble down bottom, but they're not going to be able to dive past. At the least though, Fnatic, they'll find the tier 1 mid lane. Look at this. DC continues to put on the aggression. Mushi's looking for the tower denies, not going to get it. Resolution picks up the gold. DC starting to find a few plays that are working out to their favour.
They're getting all their items now. I think Drow
Yeah.
has Lance, and then
Yeah.
Mech just came out, and then they'll have the Axe playing pretty soon. So yeah, they're doing fine now.
they're finding a footing for sure. Saxo's Blink will be a massive adding to their ability going forward. So
We still haven't really seen a full 5-on-5, and I think with Fnatic's the way the early game went, I think they might actually be able to fight DC in a 5-on-5 this early.
If anything, it feels more likely that Fnatic would try and seek out a 5v5, whereas DC may prioritize a bit more pick-off split push style, even with the Darkseer mech. I think more likely they're going to let's get this Blink up on Axe and find the pickoffs.
So close.
Find a pick-off, take Roche, then you take objectives. I don't think you can just say, oh, we've got Blink, let's go team fight. I believe that ward may have been planted in Vision of Sentry. Yep.
Yes, got the one just on the stairs. Midas, actually the option here for Ohio, so not that Blink Dagger that we were kind of looking for.
Huh.
so we talked about their lack of wave clear. I think that the Nyx Aghanim Scepter is probably one of the better
That's
tools
true.
to deal with
Yeah,
that, with
if
a
he can
really
get that
low cooldown on
online.
the Impale and the long range. So
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, you know, if you're losing, is the game going to be over by then? But I feel like Fnatic feel like they have enough breathing room that they can make the Midas work. But I still feel like the Blink would have been more effective here.
Yeah, I guess a Blink would have helped them kind of keep their edge that they've got.
Right.
But Midas Antagonims is a little bit safer if they're able to kind of stalemate it out, draw it out longer. They've obviously got the superior late game, and then as you said, it's going to be very hard for DC's lineup to break high ground against their Nags Nyx. And while DC trying to jump
good
in,
position
3-4-3,
for
yeah, hiding in the
3-4-3.
tree line, and DC's been rumbled. They'll be unable to find anything with that as well, and a little bit unfortunate, of course, because that was Sax's Blink Dagger kind of
Reveal.
yeah.
Man, Fnatic were so ready for that because they had that Observer Ward dewarded, so they expected like a smoke into a kill into a Roche,
Yeah.
or just a smoke into a Roche.
And he's just camping here just to scout them going into Roche still.
There is an Observer Ward though, so they'll see him. They won't get in range. Oh, they get the swap onto DJ. The disruption will be there, but the smoke screen covers him during the call. DJ's still alive at this point. Shackle's not going to latch onto the Ricky as well, so they'll only get the Shadow Demon. It was a nice defensive play, but I think this is enough of a window, 30 seconds, where you have a Drow lineup. you're going to be able to at least take a look at this road.
Yeah, Mushi has the TP in. If
I was going to say, they need Mushi. If they get Mushi over, they can certainly try and stop it.
It's too late at this point. No T1's up.
Ideal scenario there for Fnatic is if he gets picked, you're pushing the tier 2 at mid and top, but the lanes aren't even that pushed out, so they'll lose a support and a Roche for pretty much nothing in exchange.
DC will be very happy with this.
Fnatic dropped the Sentry Ward too late. They didn't know that DC had vision on that high ground.
Now, if you're DC and you've got this Aegis, do you then start to say, all right, full on, let's go down the lane as 5, or are they not in that much of a rush, DC?
If there were T1 still up, I would say definitely
Yep.
so. Sorry, T1's mid and bottom, but T1 top is like
Or run,
really
run.
hard to get to. I think they just need to keep farming. for
They
the
do have the
content.
mech up, so alongside the Aegis, the Blink. They have some tools, but yeah,
It's just slow though. Like
There's-
they have-
yeah.
Oh, they actually managed. Oh, they managed to snipe that. What did it have on? 3.1k worth. It was the Lincoln Sphere. Oh, that's a little bit of a hit for Fnatic to take, especially with the fact that DC have just picked up that Aegis and they have got this bit of a power spike.
Resolution's posturing up pretty aggressively here. It does have support inbound with Misery, but
And they've got the swap available as well. If they could get the vision onto Mushi, I mean, this could be a good time for DC to try and look to take some more objectives. And Moo, all right, with the solo play, trying to go for 3-4-3, get out, get the vacuum. Oh, he can't quite get out the range of the smoke screen, but 3-4-3. He was scared of the vacuum, and he cancels the TP to ult, and Moo ends up bringing him down anyway. I think he might have just made it, actually, because Moo was still kind of fanning around on the edge of the smoke screen when he was looking to get that vacuum down.
Yeah, it was going to be close.
Yeah.
Like, he was out, but maybe just panicked, like one of those
Yeah,
misclick
'cause you
moments
see
where
he's
it's
like,
like,
he's
oh
gonna
crap, he's
vacuum
about to,
anyway.
what?
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, if you panic and ulti there, you're going to definitely die. But
it allows him to complete the 4-star, so it's a really nice solo pickup for Moo.
Yeah, Moo's been playing really nice, actually. There was that one time he got caught out on the bottom lane, but each and every time his awareness of the movements of Fnatic seems to be on point.
So this is the one low-hanging fruit Ben was talking about. Tier 1's kind of been missing, so this will be the one low-hanging fruit during the Aegis timing for DC to pick up here in the top lane. And looks like Fnatic will convene, but they're not going to be nearly close enough in time to mount a defense on the Tier 1.
well, it's hard for them to defend too because they committed to this Nyx Midas now too. And not even just the Aegis, if you don't have that initiation. So I think there's a good chance he will still go for a blink before the Ags.
Yeah.
Yes.
They they can't fight until he has it almost. At least not easily.
Trying to
Misery.
get a wraparound here. Going on Misery, so there's going to be no save available immediately. Trying to burst him down, but he's forced out. He's going to be saved. And Resolution keeping Mushi out of the fight, pushing him back away. Shackle holds back Ohio. Fnatic, they're still trying to move in. Mid one with the Metamorphosis. They're ready to fight. DC, they're looking to bail. They want to try and get themselves out of it. The Demonic Purge down onto Sax. They're controlling the Axe. The rest of DC, will they be able to
Oh,
escape?
he's gonna
Sax
make
go
it.
for the TP. He's not going to make it. But the rest of the side do escape. So DC only losing one casualty there. To get the tier 1, obviously not getting the tier 2. Fnatic are able to defend. And it's got to be kind of good news for Fnatic, really. A kill, not losing anything in return, and just slowing down that momentum that DC are desperately looking for with their draft.
It's a nice way that they approach. The way they approach is like the Drow always has to feel scared because Axe is on the right side, and then there's a couple heroes that are approaching from the left, so that the Drow always has to like run really far back.
Misery.
Yeah.
This is
Some good
potentially not the place to be. Ohio's there with the wraparound. Resolution
bigger
is there
kills
as well. They might
behind
even
him.
get both. They're going to look for Misery. They don't want there to be any chance to the Drow being swapped down. Now Resolution is kind of coming all on his own. Mid one trying to close the gap. Resolution trying to turn and take down 3-4-3, but he dukes it out with the ultimate. He's going to survive. Moo comes in as well. They will finish off the Ricky kill. So they do get it, and DC are able to punish Fnatic's attempt at going a little bit aggressive, a little bit greedy there. They saw the kill. They felt they had the potential. They did get the Venge kill, but they lose something in return.
It was pretty greedy. He has Aegis anyway, so they realistically shouldn't be trying for that. But either way, it's time on the Aegis where DC aren't really achieving too much, so the actual death doesn't matter too much for Fnatic. They're still maintaining a bit of a small gold edge. What do you reckon, Ben? Is that a BKB for Dro, or are we going like a Maelstrom?
Maelstrom Axe?
I think you have to go BKB. Do you?
I mean, you have a swap behind you, right? So
It's really, what, just Nyx and
Smokescreen,
I
yeah.
think Smokescreen's very
But you have a swap. I don't know.
Yeah. They've got the 4-staff too for the smoke screen. That was what helped out last fight.
Yeah, I think at this point they probably have enough damage to deal with the TB, so
Yeah,
I
it's
would.
good. Maelstrom.
That's
okay.
going to be Maelstrom.
I could definitely see arguments for both. It's just, I guess if you're like, what's our late game plan? Because this is, for DC, they're not winning this with some mid-game pre-30-minute draw push.
Right.
And if you want to go late game versus TB, you have to go Maelstrom Ags or...
Yeah, I mean, Maelstrom, that's
Mjolnir,
great against
yeah.
the Terrorblade, isn't it? With the illusions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just having that kind of potential of taking them all down. And the fact that you got the magical, so you don't care too much about the armor.
I just don't know how much uptime she's gonna have though,
Yep.
because even if she gets PKP, she still has to deal with Stone Gaze. And Stone Gaze is extremely annoying to deal with as a core. But it's good for farming.
It's good on paper. I've seen in practice it hasn't worked out as much as you would think.
You just don't have that much pew pew time.
Mhm.
Well, whenever the age is now gone, so DC, window's closed for them.
Yeah, Ohio's farm looking a lot more innocuous at this point with the pickup of the Midas.
They need a lot more on Wind Ranger though. Wind Ranger's like about the same as Nyx, which is really not good for.
Yeah, it's concerning, and she's all physical right now as well. As the power shot magic damage starts to fall off, so against the TB gonna tickle with the focus fire.
They have Maelstrom though. Maelstrom is
True.
really good at killing the TB. So let's see, DC playing around the pit, trying to secure that next Roshan for them. As long as they get Roches, should continue to be pretty good for them. I think once TB gets one, I think you give it a TB over Deuce.
As soon as Fnatic get a Roche, it almost feels like that's
Yeah,
like not game over right away, but pretty.
The
pretty
beginning
close.
of the end.
Yeah. And DC at least keeping things close for now. If they can keep getting Roche after, it's going to take them more than 2 Roches. Like I don't see them getting the next Roche and being like, oh, let's go push high ground, guys. No, it's going to be another kind of slow pace. Let's find a pick off, take a tier 2 tower, but realistically for DC, they got to play that long game, go for the 3rd, 4th Roche, get all those big late game items.
SD surprisingly farmed. He's like relatively close to the axe. With
He just bought a gem.
He brought his own gem.
Yeah. And as Amon indicated there, the Blink Dagger does now come out as well for Ohio, so that's the initiation that they sorely needed.
And Fnatic don't want to give up this Roche.
Not only just to
setting
initiate,
up.
but to cancel that marksmanship as well, which helps, 2 of their cores.
Do illusions cancel marksmanship?
I don't believe
think so.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Blade Mail's a really nice pickup.
I don't actually think
He's so far behind already, though.
That's very late, yeah.
Blade Mail's like, it's not great versus Dusa, it's not great versus TB.
Yeah, TB has such high armor that the physical damage reflects
It's also
too
like,
much.
his illusions do a lot of damage and reflecting to the illusions. Dusa, like, she has mana shield. You're not gonna really be like, I think Blade Mail's good when you can like blink Blade Mail call and get them in calling range, but I guess it's probably gonna be on TB, but they have defensive disruption for that. I guess there's not really a better item for them. They can go like Crimson Guard, I think, is pretty good versus the Dusa split shot and the TB, but he's kind of a little bit poor for that. I would have preferred Crimson Guard, I think, but maybe Darkseer's picking one up.
Mansa's being picked up in tandem there by both Midborn and Mushi.
Oh, Black's favorite item build.
They've got the SD on top
and
of it as
Mental
well,
Lincolns.
so you could easily just have 6, 7, 8 illusions up on the high ground.
I think this is pretty much it. Mushi does this every game. He always goes Manta.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him differ from that. He likes to stick with the
He's
old
always a
school.
man of like he sticks to his habits very strongly.
And to be fair, it does end up working. Even though I know there's a lot of flame for the build, but he makes it work around.
Back in like the TI2, TI3 era, he got a lot of criticism as like he was one of the best mid players in the world. A lot of people would say he was the best, but he still didn't ever tread switch. Like he refused to learn how to tread swap. He does nowadays. Like that was a habit that he learned, but it was just one of those funny things where you can say this guy's one of the top.
Oh, the SD illusions of the Medusa chomping through misery.
Well, what would you prefer over to Manta though? I think Manta's like they're all building stats, which is way better for the SD.
It's nice against Wave of Terror as well, and Gust.
He really wants that free pick on the bench. Misery.
Searching.
He has to be careful though.
He's looking for that bench.
He's holding a gem.
Misery. Oh.
Timing.
Yeah, he's good. He's due to that. Ohio's not going to find him.
What's Roche respawn time?
It was 5 minutes and 26. So yeah, it's just over 1
Very
minute left.
close.
Yeah. That's gonna. I think that's pretty much gonna be the
massive
next
target
point.
for both teams for sure. Fnatic can pretty much seal their victory, it feels, with that Roche, whereas DC desperately need it. I mean, and they're not monumentally behind at this point, but the Roche would put them severely on the back foot.
The butterfly is going to be a problem too once Dusa gets that.
I missed that CS. Damn you. I blame the PC.
I definitely hit my PC before, like accidentally with my feet.
Did you keep is your PC on the ground or just
Yeah,
like, yeah, mine too.
I need a bigger desk.
Woo! Here we have it. Now Mushi, I think he's about to get the last CS on the tower.
Still.
Yeah,
no, he's
he
got
has
his
DD,
damage.
so yeah.
Yeah, good luck with
More
that.
money into the bank. 15k gold on this Medusa. 26 minutes in. It's a very, very good place for him to be.
I've seen these like Shadow Demon drafts at this stage. If you want, you can just keep spamming
Yep.
illusions at the tier 3 towers, and they'll just like win you the game by itself. Here we go. Fnatic could just set up camp right on top of that ramp there by the ward spot and just keep sending illusions if they want to.
Yeah, play it safe.
And at some point, DC have to go fight them because you'll slowly lose your buildings.
I think for the upcoming team fight, Darkseer really needs to get the wall on the Medusa and the Terrorblade if possible.
Yeah.
That's like really important for the team fight because it's a lot of damage. But I don't know how he's going to play around the Stone Gaze. If he does it before the Stone Gaze, then the wall's not going to do that much. But if he waits too long, then Drow and Wind Ranger might die.
They definitely need something to supplement their damage. Like the
No,
wall.
get yourself out of
Oh,
there.
he has Ion
higher.
Shell up. He can just pop Carapace.
Yeah, they can reinitiate with Saxa. Saxa jumping and trying to get the SD on the background, and he will do. The roll coming out from Ricky. Moo, Misery tanking it up, now having to walk it out as Mushi turns up with the Snake. Saxa, he's going to get taken down. They've already lost the Venge as well. 3-4-3. He'll fall as collateral, but he's going to pay the price as well. They've caught
Dude.
Moo out as well. Yeah, he's got to get himself back to base. It's a double kill for mid one. And again, Fnatic taking a very favourable trade for the side here, and it does feel like it's all falling to pieces here for DC as the draft was not built to be in this position at 28 minutes.
Does 343 have a Diffusal Blade on Ricky?
Should do.
No,
it's close.
it's
I
still
thought he used
building
it
on it at the moment.
in that fight, but either way, it was a nice initiation from him on the
That's
back end.
yeah. They just team fight so well. Like they coordinate all their spells such that they initiate on one hero, the Darkseer, and meanwhile the Venge is getting smoked, so you can't swap to instantly save him and get him in a better position. So
Really good synergy with the Shadow Demon and the Ricky. Kind of allows you to set up while being, assured that the backlines are going to be disrupted as well.
Darkseer can't get caught out like that. He is like the most important hero to not die early on. I guess a little bit of Drow too, but at least you can counter initiate if they go on the Drow. And they played around the counter initiation from the Axe very well that fight.
So we've got the Drow staple now complete. The Axe Maelstrom is done. So DC have got, they've got ways of pushing these waves back out. They can hold the high ground, but at the same time, if Fnatic break just even one little crack in that defense, the amount of power that they're just going to come powering down lane with is going to be very hard for DC to hold back.
I think with this strat, they can push multiple lanes at once too.
Yeah.
So like, Drow can only hold one lane.
So that's kind of the back-breaking Roche going the way of Fnatic here. And they do have the Aghanim's Maelstrom up on resolution now, so the high ground is... There's certainly no slouches on the high ground, Vac Wall, Swap, Call, the Ag's Maelstrom, but with this extra life, with them not having the possibility really to initiate on Mushi, him having the Lincoln Sphere, it feels like Fnatic will be very comfortable just kind of slow sieging this out.
I was about to say, DC really needed Gem. They lost that last fight just because Nyx was right on top of the Darkseer with no detection.
Here comes the Cancer. Disruption
Yeah,
illusions.
that has to be fun.
I swear I think it was a NEL game where Shadow Demon was like 20k net worth, had Ags, Octarine Core, like all these ridiculous 6-slot items. He even got a Radiance or something somehow. I don't know what was going on. It was some good fight. It made me want to play Shadow Demon.
Was that the BSJ qualifier game where the Ember Spirit with the 20 Helm of the Dominator?
Oh, that was another one, yeah.
It was that.
I'm thinking about it. This was an NEL
They
game.
found themselves a Ricky.
Yeah, 343's dead. He'll be up in due time though, as long as they can keep the lanes shoved. But DC have done a pretty good job thus far of keeping the lanes pushed out with this Aegis in the hands of the Radiant.
That's not too big of a loss for a Gem reveal from Fnatic. Now they definitely suspect that DC have a Gem.
And they were in a farming state anyways, because Butterfly was like 600, 700 gold away, so they're kind of waiting for that Butterfly before pushing anyway. So it's like, well, Ricky's back, Mushi's still farming. It didn't really benefit DC all that much to find that pick off.
Who has a Gem on Radiant? SD?
SD bought,
Yeah.
he's still holding it, is he?
Oh, Nyx has it.
You probably
he's
saw
getting
that
it
war
next. Okay.
briefly.
It's good for Nyx because he's the one in the front line
Yeah.
initiating, so he can at least know if he's walking by wards or whatever. I guess Drow needs BKB now, probably?
You can just all out good damage. Butterfly.
Upgrade, yeah,
Well,
Butterfly.
actually,
You don't get the Manta done? Do you not
Mm,
need it?
Manta doesn't really. The illusions do kind of nothing.
Yeah,
I
it's
think, this
negligible
It's stats.
damage.
That's really why I look at a Manta being for him.
Oh, it's going to be a Venge pick at the least. We'll see if they get anything else out of
It's
this one.
actually a very big pick off for 40 seconds. The lanes aren't even in any position though for Fnatic to really punish with it. But they do get the butterfly. They'll be able to shove out the waves while the Venge is down. So they're prepping and ready.
Yeah, they're actually going to force this top.
Drow's pushing bottom though, so I don't really think they can get too much out of it.
Yeah, they're pushing fast top. They're going to be high ground in no time at all, actually.
Yeah, they got Metamorphosis
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
available.
They'll force
Demon
it.
Illusions, butterfly.
You got it back. 2 minutes left on that Aegis. Mushi wants to make the most of it. Fnatic
Yeah, resolutions.
they're coming in.
They need a stalling wall.
Let's see what kind of a hold they can have. 5 seconds, and yeah, Misery's back on in the Venge.
He's stopping the Axe Blink too with the illusions. That's nice.
Moo, it's all on you, buddy.
There we go. Gets the 2-man vacuum. Doesn't drop the wall straight away. Gus comes out, but Fnatic, they're ready to move in. Mushi heads straight back up. 3-4-3 is going to be on the front line. Jumps in, forcing DC back. DC, they didn't manage to find the jump in the defense that they hoped for. So the racks are now exposed.
Yeah, they didn't even stone gaze. That's just easy racks now for Fnatic.
Yep. Still a lot of time left on the Aegis. That's a really tough initiation. They almost got like a blink call in a vacuum.
They hit the 2-hero vacuum they needed to. I'm a bit
I'm
surprised he
surprised
didn't go
he
for the
didn't
wall, but perhaps he thought he'd missed the vacuum. It actually looked like he was only going to catch 1 hero of the vacuum, but got him just on the edge. But realistically, even if he throws the vacuum there, I don't think it would change the outcome.
Resolution went for the Hurricane Pike.
The triple tome purchase, Ricky.
You know you're ahead when you're forgetting to purchase your tomes. But they went for the Hurricane Pike on Drow. You're talking about the limited amount of time he'll have to be able to fire shots, and that may help with that. But now, down a lane of racks. And the Aghanims comes out for Ohio as well. Probably one of the best upgrades in the game in terms of just what it gives you.
It's one of the few heroes that Hurricane Pike makes sense on.
No, Axe he's going back for the Crimson. So 33-minute Vanguard. I mean, Ben, you wouldn't really agree with this Axe's build this game.
It's more of like this is what you normally get.
Yeah.
But like if you have time to sit back and think about it, and you're not in the middle of a game, it's way easier to know that you need a Crimson instead. But
Yeah,
it's like it's versus all these like Manta illusions, split shot, and SD illusions. Like all these multiple sources you want the Crimson.
This is pickoffs that DC can't afford to let happen at this stage.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a buyback, I think. It's all on Moo again, I think. Moo and Sox.
This if we have a look at Misha, this is going to be a push where unless it's already gone. So the Aegis is gone. Aegis is gone. So
Did you say
down on that.
rapier?
Yeah.
Let's go. We're up
Rapier
a rack.
time,
Let's pick up
Mushi.
a rapier before we push high ground.
Demon Edge. He's gonna get
MKB is good against Wind Rangers. So.
Yeah.
Already it's kicking off. DC trying to find a high-o. They will
Oh,
pick
they'll
him
get
off.
him.
They managed
He
to
got
swap him
cocky.
in.
And
They
they
caught him
lost
out.
the gem.
Yeah, that's the gem down. They've won.
Oh, they got a vacuum wall and two
Can they
pretty key
follow?
heroes.
They're
but
trying to chase him, but they can't
Yeah.
close the gap on Fnatic.
Not
The illusion's
uphill.
just holding them off.
not uphill into stone gaze as well.
But it's a good pick. Nyx Assassin and a gem. Taking
Yeah.
that away from Fnatic.
It does seem kind of inconsequential though. I
Yeah.
mean, the gem is really nice, but I think-
Roche isn't up, and Wind Ranger had a buyback.
Yeah,
So.
keeps you alive, but doesn't progress things in your favor so much.
Yeah, definitely a good pick though, for sure.
That's I mean, it gives them a way to kind of reliably defend high ground if they can do that again.
This is a little bit dangerous for DC. They're all spread out right now. A couple of heroes.
They're
healing.
going
Oh,
in
they
for
found
this.
3
Mid
for
one
3.
and DJ there. They managed to shackle off DJ on the backside, but Weeha, he's in trouble. Gets himself shoved down the mech, keeping him alive for the time being. But Fnatic, they're trying to jump into this
Nice
one, and you got to
purge.
ask yourself, DC, was it worth it sending the two of them in, losing their own gem after they just managed to retrieve Fnatic's? That was
It's a dieback as
a
well.
little bit gun-ho from the two of them. Weeha and Moo, I think the rest of the team are going to be having words with them.
I think they didn't realize that the other heroes had taken so much damage from the illusions. Like they got the Nyx pick and no one was really low, and then all these illusions were sieging the Axe, and Axe was all the way back in base, but they just weren't on the same page.
And
But
so much goes back to the position where it's like you just got to pick to defend high ground. You're like, well, that doesn't help us. Let's go
Yeah.
do something. 'Cause
They
we're
wanted to
5v4.
find something.
So you're thinking, okay, Fnatic are only 4. They may be split up. Let's get another pick. You want to turn that one pick into 2 or 3 picks since you're not taking towers. You're not taking Roche.
But they're going to pay for it. It's, from the looks of it, at least going to be a second set of racks.
they don't have walls. This
Yeah,
fight.
no Wind Ranger buyback for
Just a
25.
Reaver. Okay.
She swapped in. We'll pop the Stone Gaze out. Now they're moving,
Pretty
forcing
much
DC
zoning.
away.
Yeah, it's just zoning.
Space is there. Moo jumps in with the vacuum. Wall drops as well. But immediately, the illusion's ripping the Darkseer to shreds. No buyback available, of course, for this Darkseer now.
That free Mystic Snake onto the Darkseer illusions to like refill your mana pool is pretty nice.
Vintage Fnatic. Slightly outdrafted, perhaps. Very well executed, systematic
GG,
game.
yeah.
Do you get mana from illusions? Yeah. You do? Okay, I didn't know if you did.
Wow.
It's a really good, like, if you're low mana, it's a really good way to
That's great.
refill your mana pool.
I was just, well, the drafting from Fnatic and the play as well for me. It goes back to Mushi's activeness at the start on that Medusa. That just did so much to kind of crush DC's lanes.
They also enabled the Nyx.
Yeah. And Ohio's next, yeah, absolutely.
Do you still
He
think
was
Fnatic were
constantly
kind of
finding
outdrafted, Ben? Or is it, I mean, obviously seeing it now, like how the draft played out. Did they outplay them or what?
I think the Axe spent too much time doing things. That
They laned it well. Yeah, Fnatic laned
Fnatic
it
laned it well, and DC
Yeah.
didn't respond as well. They like had the Axe try and zone out the 2 melee on top.
Yeah.
That was